Fat Martin over it really be saying 28 years later maybe the worst movie I've ever seen. Bro has not seen Until Dawn and Clown in the Cornfield, two movies I watched on my own permission. The only thing that made Clown in the Cornfield a little bit better was there was two baddies in the cinema and I got their numbers.
Years Later is in the top 5 worst movies ever made.
Low tier rage bait. What was the one about toys? Not Toy Story.
I just went to a 10:45 showing because I was so excited.
I went to a 1 p.m. showing for Clown in the Cornfield. I wanted to kill myself. I went for a 1:30 showing of Until Dawn. I really wanted to kill myself.
And I really wanted a distraction. And
I mean, I watched Final Destination Bloodlines. That was a good one. I like Final Destination Bloodlines. That's still the best horror movie I've watched this year.
That was the worst movie I've seen.
Until Dawn, Clown in Cornfield, 28 years later, then Final Destination Bloodlines.
Seen in years. Don't worry, no spoilers.
Bro did not watch the second Captain Marvel movie. Was it the Marvels? I watched that in cinemas. Wow, I really regret that was my first fucking MCU movie that I watched in cinema.
There's ninjas in the movie.
Last 400 seconds.
There's ninjas in the movie.
Last 400 seconds.
There's ninjas in it.
Last 400 seconds.
There's ninjas.
Last 400 seconds. The rest of the movie's quite alright.
In 28 years later.
Last 400 seconds. I don't know what they were thinking either, mate.
Which takes place in Scotland.
Yes.
There are ninjas.
We're not going to talk about the rest of the movie.
In this movie. Oh.
We're not going to talk about the rest of the movie.
Oh my god, that would...
We're not going to talk about the rest of the movie.
Yo, Danny Boyle.
What about the rest of the movie?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
What about the rest of the movie? What about the boots? Boots coming all over the floor. Go. Mira Polina. Yeah.
Why did you do that?
Funny.
Why did you do that?
How does that make it the top 5 worst movies of all time? This is the worst movie of all time. This is the worst movie of all time. I watched these movies. This is not the worst movie. This is what he's referring to. It's fucking... Wait.
Because the ending of 28 years later
You're not gonna clip it. I don't know what Jimmy for me.
Later, guys, I'm gonna be honest. The day I watched this movie, I didn't want to because throughout the whole day I was tired and slightly exhausted, and the
Me too, babes. Me too.
last thing I needed was to watch a really heavy film. So I thought at the
That's what I thought when I watched Until Dawn. Then I tried to kill myself afterwards.
last minute maybe I should go watch Elio instead, but in the end,
Should've. Elio was a good film.
those Disney devils on my shoulder weren't tempting me. My little chocolate factory in my school made me buy a ticket to 28 years, and
Remember when Wall died? In that random fucking Mr. Beast video? Remember when a wall killed itself with drugs?
thank goodness I did because this film was pretty funky. Because if you
It was good.
don't know, 28 years later, the third movie in the 28 Days Later trilogy, which started with something called a rage virus taking over
I know what that is. Son of a monkey.
Britain and converted normal citizens into toxic Snyder fans. Infected zombies. And in the 28 years later film, we get to see how this world has evolved 28 years since the Rage virus's inception. Now, firstly, let me both applaud the sound and the cinematography. Like hearing
Very good.
things such as the blood splatter.
It was recorded on an iPhone.
Our bowstrings being drawn, growls from the infected. It was satisfying and terrifying, but overall immersive. And the cinematography, which we all know was captured on a bunch of iPhones, definitely gave like an
Hey.
apocalyptic persona. Like the visuals looked dreary, and as a result, it reflected the world around it. But there were a few bullet time shots in this film which I did not like. They were very choppy, random, and added almost nothing. Now, the acting was superb all around, and you're gonna hear it from a lot of people, but Alfie Williams, this kid was a damn truck because he was carrying this film on his back. Such a talented dude who gave a performance with so much soul. However,
He's so skinny.
how is the story? Well, it was all over the place. Like the
Yes, he's gonna go and like the first hour was that, and then the second hour was like a completely different movie.
first act was super tense, then the second act got weird, and the
Yeah.
third act got me jerking tears a bit. It was totally
Yeah.
very scattered, and for me, that kind of made the movie fun because at some points I was gripping my seat when I saw those Fortnite skins murdering
Emergency.
some infected, and then moments later, my emotions did a complete 180, and I was left feeling sad all of a sudden. And the reason why is because you care for all the characters, and overall, it was just a well-written movie in my opinion. Like, you're gonna hate some people, you're gonna love some people, and that's good. Now, when it comes to the action, dear God, it was gory.
Bath in May. But before we talk about that, I want to talk about not sponsor, the elephant in the room. My last video, I meant passenger 57. I knew it. You're getting from the title. It's called Clown in a Cornfield. What do you think's gonna happen? Yeah, it's pretty much that. It's a slasher flick where there's a killer clown that emerges from a cornfield
Killer clowns.
and kills people. Now, it's on the surface, but that's all it was. This is based off of a book of the same trick. And I was inspired. This movie does get to the killer clown element. And I'll let you know right now, the last act is actually a surprising good time. The kills are mean, bloody, memorable, what you want for a movie like this. But I was surprised. In retrospect, I look back, it feels like it took longer than usual to get to those bloody kills. However, I wasn't bored, and that's the surprising part. I was actually invested in the story of the characters. This father-daughter duo that moves to this small town. There's some tension there between them, but you're hoping they patch it up. The tension in this town is actually a very relevant one. It's a reflection of this ageist society we live in. You know, old people say something, okay, boomer. Young thing. It was a sunny day. So they're looking for looking for closure. Anyhow, they happen upon this creepy house in which things are trying to kill them, and they have to survive. That's right, you guessed it, until dawn. But there's a catch though. Once they all get wiped, they respawn and they have to try again. So it's this rinse and repeat. You die, come back, kind of Groundhog Day, Happy Death Day, but not really. It's a little different. Point is, bunch of people in a creepy house getting killed over and over again, trying to survive until dawn. And I gotta say, for the first half of this movie, I was surprisingly enjoying myself. Not sure what I expected from a horror.
Do you know what? I was enjoying myself for the first half of the movie. The last bit completely ruined it. Fucking
film in which the
nightmare.
review embargo lifts the day of release, in which there was a screening I could have gone to for Until Dawn that happened at the same time the screening for The Accountant 2. None of it bodes well for the film. But for the first half, I was like, I'm shockingly having fun. Yes, in a way that shows how on the mark Cabin in the Woods was. This movie does play out as some sort of alternate scenario for Cabin in the Woods. They even have the guy at the gas station warning them, don't go up that way. And they're like, hey, let's go that way. Played by Peter Stormare, who is in the game. I know that.
Yeah.